One, two, three in the place to be. It's your player partners from the bottom of the map.
On the bottom of the map.
It's your dog Israel.
Hayes.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. It's them again. And we about to talk our shit now, dog. We about to talk this shit. Hey, y'all already know what time it is. We've been seeing what's been going on with the U all year. Specifically, one, Tyler Van Dyke. It's a lot of speculation coming up with the transfer portal. It was speculation about him possibly going to Alabama last year. They needed a quarterback. It's teams all over the country that's looking for a
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah.
What you say? What you say? Because this gonna be some drama. This gonna be some drama.
I think we probably the only channel that's been riding with TBD the whole time and saying that it ain't him, it's the coaches, right? I'm watching other podcasts saying nah, he needs to leave. They're like, oh, if it's not him, then you know what I'm saying? They're making all these, and I'm just like, look, man. I did my homework on Oregon. Justin Herbert was good out there, but he wasn't great. He didn't reach his full potential. We're going to do some videos later about really that tenure over there. But I just felt like, man, you know what? I think the majority of the fan base say, fuck him. They feel like he ain't good. They was already crying to Emory. And I ain't going to lie, I ain't have a lot of explanation when he, you know what I'm saying, he had all those picks. But I'm looking at it like, nah, dog, I know this quarterback, bro. Like, he's not giving the things that he needs to be good. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like that last year. If we being honest, I felt like that last year. I'm like, okay, you need to do this shit your way. You're going to get this person. Man, I don't give a fuck about none of that. The quarterback been fucking raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, been on a tear the 2 years under Rhett Lashley. Why not do it like that? But I don't get paid $8 or $9 million, so I got to sit down and listen to the bullshit. The beginning of this year, he's playing fucking great. Yes, he has 3 or 4 games where he's leading the nation in picks. I felt like he was trying to play hero ball, but I still looked at that as coaching because I'm like, bro, he has the talent. But I'm in the minority. Y'all not really fucking with what I got going on, so I feel like this is what I want to see. I'm not a hater. The majority, I believe in majority rules, right? I think the coaching staff wants to keep him, but I think they know that he thought about leaving after last year. Him and his family, you know what I'm saying, they thought about it. I remember that during the Texas A&M, you know what I'm saying, I think Herb Street worked that game, and he talked about it. They were like, no, you know, him and his family, they had a huddle. They decided to stay. I think when they had that motherfucking huddle this year, you see how disloyal these old hoe-ass fans is? Go ahead and leave, man. Yeah, they don't appreciate you, TBD. Fuck that shit. I think you're wrong. And you know what? I done thought about it. Auburn just gave Alabama everything it can handle. They also played Georgia great in their first fucking year. Guess what they were missing? A quarterback. Matter of fact, that run was so deadly, you knew they was going to run and they couldn't stop it. Hugh Freeze is known to be a quarterback whisperer. I say you go to Auburn and you show up raw as fuck. And I want you to have all the rest of the Miami fans looking like, look what they did with our old toy. Guess what? New toy. Thought about it as well. I'm like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? Jaden Daniels, I don't know if he stays. I think you go. You feel me? I think
he done. I think his eligibility is up anyway.
Even if not, you just seen what he did after him transferring. Also, who would have thought? Bo fucking Nix. We're talking about goals from Auburn, you know what I'm saying, Harsin and the boys, which Harsin had Auburn playing fucking horrible, goes out there with Danny Lanning. Danny Lanning is the old defensive coordinator at motherfucking Georgia. But apparently him and the offense got quarterback whisperers out there. Man, Bo Nix, before he got there, I think it would be safe to say, like, you know, we're talking shit exaggerating, but man, that boy was hot garbage. Like, you smell that boy coming. Now he's playing air-free football, putting up some of the best numbers. Somebody's going to take a chance on him on a fucking draft pick. You kind of got to. So you're trying to tell me TBD is not better than Bo Nix was before he got there? Y'all trying to tell me that TBD can't put up those numbers? I think Michael Penix, regardless, leaves this year too. You don't go to Washington? I think the transfer portal, I think they looking at TV dog. Somebody gives you an offer that's going to let you throw the ball. You mentioned Notre Dame. Bro, fucking hit it, all right? They don't want you. They already, like, demoted you only to need you. Ain't that about a bitch, too? Talked all that shit about the boy. Then you fucked around and needed him. And what does he do? Just come back out and play great football again. Air-free fucking football. Come on, bro. You trying to tell me if you can't coach this man up the right way, he don't go in the Florida State game and we damn near win that bitch? How motherfuckers gonna learn about Emory? And I'm not saying I don't like Emory. I actually like Emory. I like Emory a lot. But true freshman quarterback coming back from an injury.
Mm.
You feel me? Y'all know the meme. Y'all smoking angel dust, Holmes. The fucking fans are smoking angel dust. You anybody who believes that Mario is gonna get you a championship, y'all been funny. But I'm already fine with that. I know that we're not getting a championship, but I'm like, you know what? I think we can be going 10-2, 12-2. I don't know why we didn't do that this year, but you know what? We don't have Lane Kiffin. We don't have Hugh Freeze. We don't have Danny Lanning. We have Mario Cristobal and on a fucking O-line coach who is never a coordinator and who ain't called no fucking games, but who feels so strongly about identity. Look, TVD needs to leave. I think the rest of the players, you know what? I love you, so I don't much want to seem like no hater. But like I said, I love TVD, and I hope he would stay. But I'm like, I don't want to be selfish. Is Shannon Dawson? He comes from a spread offense. We already know what type of person Dana Holgorsen is. So I don't know. We're going to do a video where we do a deep dive on Shannon Dawson, too, because I just still have a feeling like, there's podcasters like, nah, you always just want to blame Cristobal because I know the man ain't good. I'm looking at his resume. When you have this unfounded optimism coach and he's never done that before, you're basically saying you want a coach to do something he's never done. When these men are in their 50s now, so they ain't going to be shit but what they is, okay? And I'm fine with that. I'm not going to fight that. But I think TBD needs to leave. I think the rest of the team should stay another year. I think the safeties, I think we've seen it at this point. Like, look, bro, y'all boys are not elite. I just question, are they going to get better? I do think that they hit the portal and they think about getting another quarterback, but it's like, okay, who are you going to go get? There are plenty of quarterbacks out there, though. And I think now looking at it, I think they would be smart because I just think it's damn near a done deal. But I'm going to let you see what you got to say about TBD because I done gave y'all a little bit more than 15 cents.
Hey, boy, hey, but that's the real right there. That's the real. That's just what it is. Like, I do, as a fan, I see TVD's potential as like a quarterback. You see some quarterbacks that's like they're system quarterbacks. And I'm gonna go back to Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman was in this like this weird offense at Wake Forest where they did that slow mess shit that nobody knew how to stop. And he put up all these big numbers. He went into a pro style offense where I think he wanted to showcase for the NFL that he can run a pro style instead of coming from a gadget type offense. He can run a pro style offense and put up those same numbers, but he didn't. Sam Hartman looked like a pedestrian. He looked very mediocre at Notre Dame. But the brand is so big, and him being on TV and winning games, even if it's not on his arm, but him winning games, is still going to look good for him going to the NFL. Now, let me say this for TBD. If he wants to, look pretty for the NFL, then you leave. If Bama say, we might be taking interviews for quarterbacks, you go check it out. Oregon, they're going to need a quarterback. Bo Nick's going to be gone. LSU, they're going to need a quarterback. Jaden Daniels going to be gone. There's going to be, teams maybe like you said, Washington, maybe Oregon State. If Caleb Williams decides to go, does he go to USC? You're out there on the West Coast. This is going to be, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm looking at all the teams and looking at the best situation. Now, what I would say is, if there's an opportunity for me to go play with Rhett Lashley, he's the person who had me playing the best in his system. I balled out. I know they got a quarterback there. He's just a sophomore, so there may not be any space for him. But who knows? Shit happens in the portal. Shit happens all the time. So I'm just like, TVD. I want him to stay, but I'm like, if I'm him, is I need to know, is Shannon Dawson gonna be able to let loose? If I know coming into next season, Shannon Dawson is gonna have his hand on the offense and he gonna be able to let loose, then I stay. I
You
stay.
got demoted though. Do you stay? If you play badly, they're gonna go to Emory. They may even make it a real competition in spring. Another offensive coordinator, trust me, when they looking at the portal, they're gonna look at the tape. They're gonna look at all those years. They're gonna weigh the pros and cons. And what they're gonna say is, they're gonna say whatever the dirty little secret that everybody knows about Miami. Well, he didn't have a coach. You think those other coaches don't know that? The same way that they knew that Jimbo was eventually going to get fired. The same way that we know Chip Kelly is going to get fired. Listen, The fans are one thing, but these other coaches, these position coaches, bro, they can see this shit black and white. This man is not being coached up. Some of the players are not really being coached up, our safeties included. So you can hit the transfer portal, go to a system where there's more accountability, and you can actually get a position coach. You can actually get coordinators that are going to be able to teach you and, you know what I'm saying, make you better. And I think that's been the knock on period for the last probably 5 to 10 years is that you're coming to and you're not getting better. You're basically using your talent and you're able to just go out there and, be free. So no, I think just the fact that has showed you, okay, that you may not start. Can you want to take that chance? Nah, I don't even say you take that chance. Leave. Somebody gonna come asking, leave. Obviously, you don't take any steps down, right? But those programs we just named, they're all gonna need quarterbacks, and nobody better. You know what I'm saying? Programs love a veteran quarterback who's been in the system, who's not gonna be a true freshman. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? Just looking at the same way that Bama didn't even want Milroe. So people, they had to develop Milroe. So no, coaches are going to they're going to be salivating over the chance to get TBD. And I say he leaves. And, like I said, I felt like if Shannon Dawson, like you said, they're running vanilla plays. You know what I'm saying? I think even when I look back at those interceptions, it's because we were barely putting up points. Do you want to put up points or you at least want to throw an interception and throw that you tried? And I just think that, you know what I'm saying? Even when they had Emory in the Florida State game, once something worked, they went back to it 2 or 3 times. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? Because there's always a scenario, right, that Mario Cristobal is letting the coordinators do whatever, and Shannon Dawson just doesn't want to be. You want to be Manila. But I'm like, how are you coming from air raiding your vanilla? At least, you feel me? If nothing else, when you take a look at a lot of the crossing patterns that we run, I'm like, nah, that's air race type style where it's giving you quick release, you know what I'm saying, confusion, you know what I'm saying, cool. That being stated, I think that there's so many other coaches that are going to be able to play toward his strengths that, you know what I'm saying, like they're not going to get him and say, we're going to make you to be this. No, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to some of these other programs, bro, and their coordinators like, bro, we live in a quarterback hungry league right now, just as far as what college football is. And so it's to the point where, look, a lot of these teams are a quarterback away. So I just think TBD leaves. And I'm going to give you another one too, man. I ain't seen the boy Ja'Cory Brown, and I just felt like, buddy, I just felt like looking at the whole season, there's no reason why we shouldn't see packages for him. There's no reason why we shouldn't see this. So I'm like, look, these teams are not even getting packages for you, bro. Transfer. You trying to tell me don't nobody need something? Nah, bro. You not that bad. Like, I don't care. Like, I would have been on some dual quarterback. We played a couple teams where they bring in their second quarterback, and we talked about it on this channel. So I'm like, look, bro, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to play you. And I'd rather for to go get quarterbacks that they are going to play, you know what I'm saying? Or that they do feel like. Because, when it comes down to it, Van Dyke is not Mario's recruit. You know what I'm saying? That's Manny recruit. So I feel like at the end of the day, it may just be a mutual thing where, look, go someplace where your talents are going to be utilized. I think you raw. The channel think you raw, but they don't. Same thing with Ja'Cory Brown. I don't know how the landscape feel, but I feel like for them to not have a package lets me know that the coaching was not there. You talking about burning red shirts. No, there are games when you could have used this man. You know what I'm saying? Even when you think about that Florida State game, I would have been calling, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Brown out like, hey, I got this package for you, just trying to throw the defense off or whatever. Like, there's just, you know what I'm saying? And we got to scrutinize that because these boys are getting paid. I don't know if I know the coordinators are getting bread, but I'm like, Mario getting $8 million and we ain't even really, you know what I'm saying? We're not emptying playbook. We're not doing none of that. Also, I also feel like, when you look at the tight ends, it's like, okay, yes, they're getting in there more, but you got another. I feel like they can stay another year, but it just don't seem like, I feel like I would rather for this team to get the players that they want to play and work in the system versus, wasting talent. When it's like you can get them boys up out of here and then go get what you want. I definitely feel like they're going to hit the transfer portal again on the D-line. I don't think everybody got a whole bunch of eligibility left. And so I definitely see them hitting the transfer portal for that. Obviously, we know that, you know what I'm saying, Restrepo, he's a senior, I'm pretty sure, right? So this is his last year, right? I don't want to say the wrong thing because then you feel me like them boys like to hit the comments and be
Let me double check on Restrepo.
like
But
yeah, take a receiver situation because I feel like even if there just need to be depth, I mean I like the incoming class of receivers that they got, but I mean we only really seen
yeah,
like
Restrepo's a 4th-year junior, so
he got.
Restrepo might see what he might test his waters out in the NFL.
What you think? You think that boy should make? I feel like he had a great season,
He
but
had a great season, and they're automatically going to go to his comparable, which is Braxton Berrios, and they may say, hey, he could jump right on an NFL roster and play that slot perfectly. We've seen what Braxton
special
Berrios.
teams, you get in the game in NFL special teams first. So you know what I'm saying. He done did kickoff return. You know what I'm saying. Another player that they didn't utilize is Brashard. I'm like, you
And
should have had.
Brashard's a junior. So okay. Before we get into, let me ask this question: do you think Miami needs to allow Shannon Dawson to personally pick the quarterback that he wants? Because I'm looking at next year. If TVD transfer, which probably is going to happen,
Mhm.
Ja'Cory Brown is going to transfer. All you left with is Emory Williams. I'm looking at the recruits. We got one quarterback, Judd Anderson. So we're going to be coming into next year basically with freshmen, basically no experience at quarterback unless we hit
I
the
think you
portal.
got to transfer portal. You got
Yeah,
to.
unless we hit the portal hard, and get in an experienced quarterback. Um, But that's also saying he got to be able to play in Shannon Dawson's system. So you just
Yeah.
can't get any quarterback that's available in the portal. You got to get somebody that can come in day one and start producing. Because we can't, you're not gonna have enough eligibility to be like, oh, I got 3 years to figure this shit out. Like you need to come in and like right out the gate be like, all right, I can put you in and you're gonna start balling. Basically some Bo Nix type shit. Like you're gonna transfer here. Even Washington State's quarterback, he transferred from Houston, went straight to Washington State and started balling. So I'm looking at like next year with our quarterback situation, like the portal, but we're still gonna be like, who are we developing coming in? Like who do we want? Do we want Shannon Dawson picking, the recruits? Do we want them like exclusively trying to hit the portal? Like which route you think they should take? Because they're really coming in next year, they may have one or two quarterbacks, and neither one of those quarterbacks that could potentially be on the roster got any experience.
I think it's what you said, bro. That's your offensive coordinator. So I actually think you do a little bit of both. I think they like the quarterback that they're recruiting now. You do get him in there. You really don't know how Emory is going to come back from injury. I think Ja'Cory Brown should transfer, but I think they're gonna sell that boy on staying. You know what I'm saying? Because right when the ship got holes in it, but I think they hit the transfer portal anyway. I think they hit the. I think you do all three. You already recruiting the quarterback that you want, and I think a lot of assistant coaches they're all recruiters. You know what I'm saying? That's important. So um, I think you keep him, but you got to hit the transfer portal. But you're not going to just go get anybody. Shannon Dawson is going to pick him. So it's definitely going to be somebody that he comes from an air raid type system, somebody that can actually sling the ball and do the things that UM wants to do. So, you know what I'm saying? I think you do a little bit of both. But I do think there's going to be a lot of people in the portal too. So you're going to have to sell people on it. And it's not really a good look when you starting in with a quarterback and this quarterback has these interceptions. He has this. You don't think these quarterbacks in their camps are going to be looking like, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this the place to develop me? Yes, they're going to be on TV. Yes, they're going to have this, but it's going to need to be somebody like, I think most people kind of know the story now. Aaron Rodgers went to community college, you know what I'm saying, before he
Mhm.
went to Cal. So you're going to need it don't have to be that bad of a diamond, but it got to be somebody who maybe was at a school, and it doesn't need to be anybody who wasn't a good quarterback at their school, right? Like you don't need to do what Florida did and go get Graham Mertz, which Graham Mertz has played better, but that's also because that coaching staff is probably developing him. So I don't know where you're going to be at developing somebody else. It's got to be somebody who went to a smaller school and who was just out there putting up video game numbers. You know what I'm saying? But they went to Austin Peay. You know what I'm saying? Or they went, and honestly, even if some of these HBCU quarterback, just a small school quarterback, like, you know what I'm saying? The quarterback that Dallas has on there, not Dallas, but Chicago, you know what I'm saying? When what's the name got hurt, they had that boy from that small school out there. And I'm like, yes, you need somebody who can sling it, but who is just at a small school, somebody who you know that can throw every type of pass, you know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, but I think it's going to be out there. I think the portable is going to be like Black Friday back in the day. Not this year's Black Friday. You're going to have quarterbacks and players for the low, and you just going to have to be able to get them. And I think they're going to be successful, so I don't think they're really worried about it. Come on, bro. We are a transporter program. So they're going to hit that transport. And I just think we're going to win either way. I think if TBD leaves, we're good. If he stays, I can say we're good, but it's just one of those things where it's still going to be pressure. But you know what? We still going to have talent. So I just think either way, we're not. The best we go this year is 10, right? We're going to lose 2 games because we're going to get out coached. So to me, that's the ceiling for this team. You're not going undefeated. You showed me now that you can't really beat teams and you got better talent. So in your second year, no, I think they go 10-2, and that's a stretch, right? I think 9-4 is a little bit more realistic. But either way, I think they hit the portal. They got talent now. Really, if we're not, listen, we just signed a top 5 class. So there are a lot of those freshmen played, but a lot of those freshmen didn't even play. So
Yeah.
you got a lot of returning talent. You got an embarrassment of riches that you really don't know
Yeah.
what to do with.
And next year we got some like nine car. We got some receivers that are coming in. We got
Oh,
some talent coming in next year. What do you do you think almost like when we was talking about getting De'Aaron King and then we was just like, oh man, he put up big time numbers at
mhm.
Houston. Then he came here and he didn't do like he played decent, but he didn't put up those same type of numbers. Like, what do you think the program is going to offer a quarterback transferring in? Because we got all other types of transfer, defensive linemen, cornerbacks, receivers. But when you think about quarterback transfers, like they're gonna want to play right out the gate. They don't want to compete. They want to play. They want to know that they're gonna look sexy playing for Miami. So that means the hype train got to be behind them. They know that they're going to put up stats, they're going to put up numbers because if they're trying to improve their college positioning for the draft and playing at, let's say they come from a Tulane or a smaller school that doesn't have the brand or the publicity that Miami has, they're going to want to do that. They're not going to want to come to we're going to want to run first and pound the ball. That's what we want to be. We want to be a running team, but you got to air raid like that. That's the thing I feel like we got to solve right out the gate. Are we air raid or are we pound the ball? We got to figure that out because that's going to determine even with the receivers. Don't you think Kobe Young, even I'm not even Jacoby George is a really good receiver, but when you look at Kobe Young, he's 6'5", he's 220, he's a beast out there. When you just look at him physically, if you put him on another team in another place and he's getting a bunch of the targets. I was just looking at the receivers for LSU, the receivers for Bama, the receivers for like if you put him on these other teams and he's getting targeted consistently, even like featured in the offense, like Tez Walker or something like that, like that's where these players want to be. They want to be somewhere where they're featured, where they know that they have the potential to have all eyes on them. Right? If our offense is out there clicking, I'm talking about like basically like Florida State. They got Coleman, they got Johnny Wilson, they got 2 receivers out there who are both big time receivers that are getting the attention. Right? If I see like our players seeing like we're just comparable talent wise to them. If we're not getting that same attention and there's an opportunity for us to go elsewhere, I'm not going to be loyal, These hoes ain't loyal. Why I'm be loyal to them for? These
But
hoes
yeah,
ain't loyal. They not finna be loyal to me. They're not finna make sure that I put myself in the best position to make it to the next level. So fuck these niggas. Fuck them. Fuck them, dog. Let me move on to the next team and let them see what I can do when they start featuring me in their offense because they see the talent that I have. I don't see how 45 should be a struggle to get to every game. When you look at some teams like Oklahoma, um, you look at teams that like Washington, you look at teams that Oregon, they consistently get to 30 plus every game.
and
Win
by the way, that's
lose.
a good comparison because Brent Venables is in his second year, and he didn't have a good year either. So in his second year, they won 8 or 9 games out there. You know what I'm saying? They
And
only had
beat
2 losses.
Texas. And beat Texas. Got a big time win.
Yes, and also yeah, if I'm serving me correctly, they only got 2 losses. They lost to yeah, they got 2 losses. So and they were talking shit about Miami, but why? Because they know that our shit was NIL heavily too. And I think obviously the NIL is a good thing, but I think you know what I'm saying. Texas A&M has kind of showed us like, look, bro, you can sign the top rated class in history. If you can't develop that talent,
What
what
is
are
it
we
gonna
even
mean?
talking? And I think that's the main thing that's how I think under Mario. I don't think players are going to be the problem. I think they're going to underperform. I think for years Miami has talent. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying. A lot of us from Miami, bro, we see what's going on at the high schools. These boys are getting here, and they're not going to play above that. They're just going to have that talent, and coupled with the fact that Mario. So it's 2 factors here. You're getting out coach. Now at the end of the day, you can still come here, get exposure, go to the league. So I think like you said, you're still gonna appeal to those smaller schools, but you know, you make a lot of compelling arguments, bro. You're not gonna you're gonna have to come here and compete if you're a quarterback. It's not set in stone because right now the fan base they love Emory Williams. There's no telling how he's gonna come back, and I think at the end of the day, they're expecting you. Tyler Van Dyke has to leave. I just think common sense, how you've been treated, you see everything. You'll be a fool. Somebody comes with that offer, you leave. So they're going to base their decision on the portal on that. I think regardless, they get a quarterback though. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, so because next year, if Ja'Cory Brown leaves, and I think they're also thinking about that too. Even if he doesn't leave, he's not gonna play. So you kind of need to leave. So yeah,
Yeah.
we potentially got 2 quarterbacks. So I think regardless, there's just so much going on. That, as you mentioned, bro, you got you know what I'm saying, small schools. The appeal is you're going to come somewhere, you're going to get exposure. And I think, first of all, Mario can sell water to a well. So regardless of who we are, who we not are, he's going to sell you that you're going to get your throws. But you do bring up a good point. What is the identity of Miami?
Yeah.
They're a team that wants to pound the ball, but they have an air raid. But they have an air raid because that's the style that appeals more to TBD. But most quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying? Let me not say most quarterbacks, but a lot of the quarterbacks that are really slangers, the air raid plays to their strengths. They're getting the ball out quick, and it shows a little bit. It just shows a lot of them slinging the ball, crossing routes. You know what I'm saying? Just you're gonna have a variety of throws. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't, and I can tell that's not who Mario wants to be. Obviously, he had Gaddis the first year, so he wants to be Harbaugh. But the ACC is not the Big Ten, will never be the Big Ten, and that style is not going to work, period. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, obviously we talked about him at Oregon, and we know we want to do some videos on those teams, but we know that Justin Herbert didn't play to necessarily his potential. So even if they wanted to be a pounding team, you got Justin Herbert. Nah, you feel me? You play toward the strengths of your generational talents. So I
Mhm.
think regardless of what he's selling them on, we don't have that identity, and I don't know if we ever really will. I think though that he's going to continue to build the O line and the D line, and so I'm thinking that the philosophy as Miami is that we want to play power football just enough so that we can throw. We don't ever want to be a throw driven, hurry up offense like we were under Red Lashley, right? We don't want to be that. We want to control the clock. We want to do fundamental things. And I just think also, but it just still doesn't give you like a clear identity, right, of
No.
what you do well. And I think that if I ever want to see Mario make it to the next level, I think that's half of it. I think having your identity, but you still got to develop the talent. And I just don't see that. So I think regardless, we'll have like you said, I think we're rating number 11. So between that and going to the portal, Miami, between the NIL, the destination, and the brand market, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
I just it's a lot of people that have been jumping in the comments talking about, man, as we don't expect to win right away. It's gonna take 4 years. Somebody said it's a 20-year rebuild. Like, man, we've been in a 20-year rebuild since 2001, since national champions, them early 2000 teams. All right, we've been in a rebuild. Nah, man, as a fan base, I understand. Like, you pick a side. I'm either with them or against them. But like, what we're doing is we're not really necessarily choosing sides. We're just looking at it's almost like taking a like a research approach. All right, we're looking at what you did in your past. The best predictor of the future is what happens in the past. That's the best
Yes.
predictor. All right, so we're gonna look at your past coaching experience. Right, where when you went into Oregon, what happened there? What type of team did you take over? What recruiting did you do there? Were you able to turn the team around? All right, getting to Miami, that's all we're doing. We're just looking at, okay, from your past, what are you doing? What are you implementing into what's happening right now that is going to determine our future? That's all we looking at. And based off of that, we just saying like he still has not proven that as a head coach, right? Not just as a play caller, but as the head coach, the person who makes all the decisions, that he is competent. What he's shown that he can do based off of previous history is that he can recruit his ass off. He can
And
sell the university, he can sell the brand.
you can't forget too, the other half of this argument is true as well. He was the not the only coach that took over jobs that year, which was last year. Brent Venerable, Oklahoma, kind of wasn't, you know what I'm saying? We can't say it was a full rebuild like Miami either. And I don't think Miami was a full rebuild, but they were not good. Lincoln Riley jumped ship the year before, and they, they were kind of on their way down. And I think Brett went 5-7 as well. I don't think he did good his first year. I don't know exactly what he went, but I don't think
But
it
them
was a
boys 10-2 this year.
but they're 10-2 this year, second year. Same thing. When he left the job, Danny Lanning took over Oregon. I don't think Oregon did as they damn sure didn't go 5-7 last year, but we know they only lost one game this year.
One game.
Lincoln Riley had a great first year. They've lost like 3 games. They'll probably lose 4. You know what I'm saying, by the end of the year, which is still a better record.
Like I
So
said,
to
the coach at Missouri, he's in his second year. He only has 2 losses.
So it's like you can't sit up here and be like, well, we're not those. What does that mean? We're not those programs. Some of those programs are in conferences that are more difficult, and some of them still don't have the talent level as Miami. You trying to tell me Missouri got more talent? Oklahoma got more talent? Miami just signed a top 5 class. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, you gotta have those comparisons, especially when your coach made $8 million and got a 10 year, got a 10 year. So but people, that's the thing. I think even a lot of the podcasts are delusional. Dudes saying you gotta give them a chance. What are you talking about? Chance. We got black and white statistics here, my boy. All right, look at him, my boy.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
the boys 10-2. The dude that took your job is going 13-1. So it's just like, look, and you trying to meet Bo Nix is the quarterback of Justin Herbert? The fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Okay? Them boys got 1 loss. And they've actually played, you know what I'm saying, some tough teams. So they're gonna play for a conference championship. Second year. Second year. We already know. I'm like, look, man, Mario's out there a couple years. I think it probably took him his 3rd year to get to that, but it doesn't really matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oklahoma, Brent Venables has some shit to say about Miami. He looking like he was right. He looking like he had a point. You know what I'm saying? And he's having the last laugh. So I feel like, look, man, like you said, you got to be able to critique this man on his resume because, your record, you are what your record says at the end of the season, maybe not during the beginning. And we got to use your past as the greatest predictor right now.
Let me bring up one more team. Our homeboy, our player partner, Rhett Lashley.
Oh, man.
SMU is 10-2 this year.
10-2?
10
Where they
and
was in the first year.
let me see.
Hampshire didn't go 5-7. So I'm just already looking like, why you got to go 5-7 to go 7-5? Could it be 7-6?
They were
Could
7. They were 7-6 their first year.
okay,
They
okay.
they 10-2 this year.
But 7-6 is really respectable anyway. You know what I'm saying? But look, regardless, I'm not saying that 7-5 or 76 is a bad record. All I'm saying is I I really feel like
Man, stop that. Stop that. That shit is a bad record, dog. It's a bad record with the talent that we have. If this was Georgia, all right, if we looking at Kirby Smart or Bama or Texas, because it's certain teams you'd be like, oh, 7-6. That's okay. That's cool. Listen, the seat was hot as soon as Texas A&M, when they weren't starting to get them big bowl games, they already knew what time it was. Like, listen, this is the season. We don't care if you almost upset Alabama. We already know if them boys aren't 10 wins or better, somebody getting fired. Brian Kelly at LSU, they just happen. Listen, even they have 3 losses. They're 9-3. I think if it wasn't for Jaden Daniels just having a spectacular year, they're just being a fun team to watch. I think 9-3, he would be on the hot seat.
that's
So
real.
7-6, no dog. Looking at Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, they got 3 losses this year. He got one more year, I believe, with 3 losses. If they not 2 losses, and them losses better be close, it better be some shit like Ohio State this year where they lost on the last second of play. Um, Hot seat. This 7-6 shit, this 6-6 shit, this shit is not. No, these are not good seasons. This shit is not acceptable. 5-7 in your first year, and that bitch got to flip right away. If you're an elite college coach. Elite college coaches do this shit all the time. You see a lot of coaches go from one school to the next and they flip. Louisville. Why Louisville only got 1 loss?
2 losses
Two
now.
losses now. 2 losses now. But it was that a rebuild? Should they be saying that 7-5 this year instead of 10-2?
I don't know what to say. All I know
I'm
is
just saying that because the people in the comments just like, oh yeah, give it time. Don't expect, man. Hell, these other teams, these other schools don't go through all of that. They don't go through this shit, this round robin of,
really
oh
bad.
yeah, we're gonna go 5-7 this year, we're gonna go 6-6 next year, we're gonna go 7-5 next year, then we're gonna go 8-4, and then we might, man, hell no. We like, and that's what I'm saying. When we don't have that standard of being able to hold people accountable for these wins and losses, this mediocre shit, we'll just find ways to accept it. We'll
I was
find ways, we'll
if
find ways to say the shit that happened at Georgia Tech, not just Georgia Tech, only scoring 6 points against NC State is acceptable. Oh, we our quarterback. Even it's teams that got backup quarterbacks. It's teams that don't be having their quarterbacks that still be winning. That still win with their backup. I just watched Florida State go into
no,
the
but
swamp
UM
without
don't
no
have
quarterback, without a
UM
quarterback, and
that
win.
standard. They don't got that standard no more. Billy Napier is about to have a hot seat at Florida, and
That
they
shit,
because they don't
it
care.
might be over for him. It might be over. He might be out of there.
They
Because
gonna
you
give
know
him
what?
one more.
6-6 is not acceptable. That's why.
I know they're
Five
gonna
and
give him
seven is
one
not
more year.
acceptable.
They're gonna give him one more year, and then they're gonna fire him. Miami signed this dude for 10 years, so they I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be 4 or 5
No,
years.
explain the logic behind that. Why do you give somebody who hasn't proven that they can win at your university 10 years? What's the logic behind that? 10 years. So I can see if he just came off a national championship or some shit like that, or he's returning after he brought a national championship to the team. How do you give somebody 10 years that hasn't proven that they can win at your university? Not a 5 year and extension. 10 years. 10 years.
Out to his agent, and it was the sexy thing at that time because Jimbo had just got the 10, and we see how that worked out.
Jimbo at least got a national championship he could kind of hang his hat on, like
Yeah,
recent, well,
yeah, no,
kind
it
of
was a
recent.
bad move. But think about it. UM has been hiring bad coaches since Al Golden, so this is nothing new. They're gonna take their chances. They will not go and get a proven winner. They will do this. And so, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who's to say after Mario leaves, they just go get another coach that ain't that good neither? Like they just have a streak. The only different thing we can say is we got a different um athletic director. I think our athletic director, for some reason, I know talent. Got a raw as athletic director. I think the athletic director he's gonna have a hand in getting the next coach. But once again, though, if Mario goes 10-2, Mario to me is not even gonna do as good as Mark Richt. I think that he's gonna go under that. So I feel like next year we're gonna go 9-4. We could possibly go 10-2, but we don't even know who the quarterback is gonna be right now. Regardless, though, I'm just seeing certain things, and I'm just like, yeah. Because when I look at Oklahoma, like you said, the fan base is like it's gonna take 3 or 4 years. What they let you know is, yeah, bro, we're gonna go 9-4, 8-5. You know what I'm saying, next year. Versus you looking at Oklahoma like, yeah, 10-2. Because that's what I'm saying. This year was a 10-2 year. We got 2 losses. We lost to North Carolina, and then we lose to Florida State. Cool. I can take that.
Cool. I can take that. I can take them 2 losses. Them other losses, Georgia Tech shouldn't have been a loss. North Carolina State shouldn't have been a loss. Louisville shouldn't have been a loss. Like
NC State was horrible.
NC State and Georgia Tech was just like the Georgia Tech one is just inexcusable, and it should never, ever, ever leave your memory. Never. I don't want to hear it. It should never leave your memory.
You know, that's his second time doing that. So come on, bro. That
Yeah,
ain't
and then North Carolina State, like, come on, man. Even Florida State, like, that Florida State game was winnable. I think Florida State actually played a very bad game because if they'd have played their best game, we would have got blown the hell out.
Yep.
But I think that game, all considering, was a winnable game. That's a game like you pull out. Like I found a way to win. All right,
Nah, but
yeah,
we don't
how
have
things work.
the offensive, even the offensive game plan once it started working. So, and that's the thing. That's why I'm like, transfer portal, talent, record, coaching. When it get down to it, I just think that the fan base is a little delusional. Once again, so I don't think 10-2 next year. I think 9-4, and it'll be the same thing. It'll be 3. If anything, too, still has that thing to where when they lose one game, they're gonna lose several other games, and it just be like, oh, okay, they'll have a week layover and then still not be ready to play. So, I just think at our best we're a 10-2 team, and that's what I'm shooting for. I'm not shooting for ACC championship. I'm just shooting. Which if we're 10-2, you know what I'm saying? Like Louisville right now, you can play for the ACC championship. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking at. Like, look, man, you get to 10-2. You can get to 10-2, but realistically, I think it's a 9-4, 8-5 year, something like that next year.
All right, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna call out a few names, and you tell me if you think they stay or if they hit the portal. Of
Okay.
course, we already talked about TVD. Donald Chaney, because that running back room is getting crowded. Donald Chaney is a 4th-year redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, you hit it. You hit it. You hit it.
It is.
'Cause, oh yeah, you hit it. Because Mark Fletcher is gonna be the feature back, right? He's gonna be the fucking man. So you're really only playing for second spot, and you're really really good. They like you in between the tackles, but we just got a lot going on. And Paris is not leaving, and Mother Boy stays. So yeah, you transfer.
All right. As much as I hate to say it, I don't think he goes anywhere. I think they find a way to tell him, like, we're gonna get you on the field, but Ray Joseph.
Nah, don't leave. I just like the boy too. That boy raw. But if they don't play you like they supposed to, hit it. That's a little weapon, man. That's a deadly, deadly weapon. Boy, that boy might be the return of Travis Benjamin out there. That boy fast. That boy, yeah. He's something different. That boy is something.
It's a name, man. Jaleel Skinner. Matter of
Transfer.
fact, any of the tight ends. We got
Transfer.
4 of them. Who stays? Who goes?
I think Arroyo stays because they like him. I think Skinner hits it. I just don't see you playing. And yeah, I just feel like outside of the first 2 up, I just don't see Miami really doing too much with him. And I just feel like, man, you go somewhere else, you're gonna at least get touches, you're gonna get exposure. Jaleel Skinner ain't. I don't even know if the boy done been out there. Might have been out there a couple times.
Couple times. Look, and Riley Williams is supposed to be like the next big tight end name.
Yeah, which
Even Arroyo, we was thinking Arroyo was going to be that guy, but like they not getting touches.
yeah, I just don't think they're gonna get the touches like that. Like our offensive coordinator is like, I don't know. I can't see, the first 2 cool, the other 2 transfer.
Transfer, okay.
I'm so grown, they ain't going nowhere. You got one more year, you might as well stay down here.
So you got Fletcher, we got Henry Parrish. What do you think about AJ Allen? You think he stays or think he goes somewhere else?
I just think you stay because you already transferred from one program. So if you do another one, you're gonna have to sit out. You might as well
Mhm.
ride it out because you can still get some touches. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Let me see who else might be potential to get up out of here. Um, I think all of our defensive linemen they stayed. They all played well. They
Yeah.
all got their shine. Um, I think all of our offensive linemen are like in play. McCormick is the only one that's really going to get up out of here as far as the tight ends.
He's been a tight
Excuse me.
point of the year. And if anything, let's just look at another video because I think it is a couple people who may exhaust some type of eligibility or something. So we can
We said Brashard Smith.
we
Brashard
did.
Smith.
No, I think I personally, I like him, so I don't want him to leave. But I definitely felt like there was no way that you couldn't find more ways to get that boy on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have been, which I mean, he got on the field as the season progressed, but I was just like, what are you doing? Why was he not on the game? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just certain things are just like they just dumbfounded you because they like, why is this boy not on the field more? Why are you not trying to get your best players in space, no matter what it is? And it's like you're doing it a little bit. That's why I was like, look, man, I don't know like why this man is not coming out of the backfield more. Him and Ray is not just getting the ending rounds or just different receiver sets. I don't know. But I felt like if I'm him and I'm thinking, I'm testing the waters. I'm definitely testing the waters. And I'll do some whole shit like go to Florida State on y'all ass and get the touches I'm supposed to get.
I wouldn't be surprised to see so many players on UCF because Gene Chiswick, looking like they starting to right the ship over there.
Mm. No, not Gene Chisholm. You talking about Gus Malzahn?
Gus Malzahn, yeah,
Yeah,
I be getting them mixed up. Yeah, Gus
Malzahn
Malzahn.
was an offensive coordinator under Gene Chiswick, though. So you know what I'm saying. I definitely, definitely like
I mean, that's another one that's a program that's supposedly in a rebuild, but
no, but that's quarterback whisperer Gus Malzahn. Yeah. Them boys, you know what I'm saying. They could play.
um, but yeah, so I think we got, I think we covered a whole lot.
Covered everything.
I think everybody is waiting on, the hammer to drop on what happens with the quarterback situation. Um, and from there, I guess we'll project what's going to happen with the rest of the players. I think the team has to come out and, they got to just get themselves an identity. They got to say, hey, we're going to either be air raid or we're going to run the ball. We got to, they like fiddle
Mario,
fight.
you're gonna go as your leader goes. Mario don't know, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But definitely, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people in the comments talking this 4 or 5 year shit. Oh, don't expect to win right away. Blah 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 blah. Just make it make sense. Make it logical for us to understand the talent pool that we have, that we consistently have. We've been consistently getting through recruiting and with players we're getting through the portal with the outcome. And if you could show where it logically makes sense and you compare all the other schools that coaches are in year one, year two, Sarkeesian's in year three, and Texas is back being a national power. They only got one loss. If you could prove it to us to where all these other schools had something else that Miami ain't had, then I'll listen. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, all right. They had this that we didn't have. They had that we didn't have, and that's why they were able to in year one, year two, year three be only with one loss, not two losses, one loss, and in consideration for the college football playoff. Outside of that, yeah, like I guess you just I guess we didn't choose sides and we just like all playing ignorant because I don't see no other reason. I don't see no other reason, even with I want TVD to stay. I want him to stay because I feel like he's the quarterback we need. But like my dog been saying, it ain't no way. It ain't no way. Your family go to talking. What they say? Yeah, it ain't no way, dog. It ain't no way. So,
Y'all
we'll
jump in the comments though. Tell us what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Like and subscribe and shoot, man. We out.
we out. It's a play. It's the dogs from the bottom of the map. We
The
gone.
bottom of the map. We
We
gone.
gone. We gone.